1 and round 2 have been completed. We are now on to round 3, the semifinals of Fight 'em Up series by Finnigan 40K. The first fight of the semifinals is Marneus Calgar versus Abaddon the Despoiler. I think you guys are probably saying Abaddon is going to take this one, but we will see. Marneus has made it through so far, and I think he's got a pretty good shot. I'm going to set them up here in just a sec after we do the dice roll. So as per our rules, it's going to be Abaddon rolling first, then Marneus, and we're going to see whoever rolls highest will be set on the board first. The table has changed out quite a bit as well, so I'll cover that in just a sec after that dice roll. Here we go. Let's see how it goes. Okay, roll off here to see who's going to be placed on the table first and who's going to get that first move. Abaddon has rolled a 1. Marneus has rolled a 4. So this one is going to Marneus first. I'm going to come back over to the other camera, show you guys the field. It's changed out quite a bit, and from there we're going to see how this one all goes. Models have been placed for round 3 semifinals. Marneus won the roll-off, as we just saw. Placed him in this corner here. The field is actually quite a bit more open than it has been in the past. There's going to be some big shooting lanes here. There is a big piece of terrain in the middle, though, that's going to block line of sight diagonally for the most part. Just to cover the model, so Abaddon has 9 wounds. His Talon of Horus has a 24-inch range, and then we've seen in previous rounds that his hand-to-hand combat is nuts. Marneus Calgar has a shorter weapon at 18 inches, does have the twin linked ability. Marneus has 6 wounds though, so 3 full wounds less than Abaddon, and not as much range punching power. So it's going to have to be very, very strategic and smart how I play with Marneus. And Abaddon can get a little bit more cavalier, get in there right away, and probably try to close that gap to get into hand-to-hand combat. So we're going to move here first. Marneus again has that 6 inches, Abaddon a bit slower at 5. So we're going to move Marneus down these stairs right here to about there. So he is on the field. He does not have Abaddon in his line of sight. So 18 inches, just to show you guys for Marneus, is right here. So on that side here. And we're going to move over now to Abaddon and get him moving as well. And he's going to hop down these stairs here for his 5 inches, which takes him just down to the very bottom of the steps. And his 24-inch shot, also not in line of sight here yet, is this arc here. So from this all the way across. So Marneus is going to be in there pretty quick if he's not in cover. So again, I'm going to have to play this super strategic for Marneus. And then Abaddon, I think, can get in there a little bit faster. But we saw in that past round that High Marshal Helbrecht did some pretty good damage to Abaddon. So I'm just going to go off camera here, do a little bit of strategizing, come right back, and we'll keep these moves going. I was just checking those weapon profiles again, too, just to see what I'm dealing with here. So Marneus only has a strength 4 with the Gauntlets of Ultramar, and then Abaddon has a 5. The 5 isn't great for the Talon of Horus, but with that extra range, it's going to, I think, play a big part in this, too. And our second round of the semifinals is going to be Karn the Betrayer versus Azrael. I think Azrael has a stronger ranged weapon to be able to deal with models like Abaddon, but he's got to make it through that next round if that's the case, and we never know. Marneus could win this one. So back to the move here. Going to move Marneus up his full 6, staying out of line of sight. I don't know if I'm going to kind of move Marneus in this area here, wait for Abaddon to come around, have him pop out, try to start shooting. We're going to have to see. Because, yeah, that middle piece of terrain is blocking a lot of lines of sight, so it's going to be very tricky to maneuver and work through that. I think if a model gets on top of it, that might be the best way to do it. And the stairs are actually closer to Abaddon. So we're going to see what happens. So they've both moved again. Back over to Marneus here. We're going to see if he can get Abaddon in his line of sight with this movement right here. Just outside. And Abaddon's going to move again, so we have that 5 inches. Up to here. We're going to be kind of playing ring around the rosy here, I think. No, I think Marneus is going to get him here, just around the corner. So Marneus has moved his full 6 inches. He has the back shoulder of Abaddon in range, but that's not enough. So we're going to move Abaddon here. It's going to be a lot of movement, I think, in this final round for all the models to get them into place to be able to start shooting. And I'm going to move Marneus out this way just before Abaddon can get up on those stairs. Don't know if he's in range though, so we're going to have to check that. So line of sight, Marneus has Abaddon in his sight, and let's see if he's in range for the Gauntlets of Ultramar. He is. So just right over this kind of outcrop here of the building, he's getting Abaddon pretty much right in the head. So Abaddon is open for line of sight. We're going to be moving over to the dice tray here for Marneus Calgar's first shoot with the Gauntlets of Ultramar. Let's see if he can do any damage. Okay, so here we go. This is the first shoot of the semifinals. Marneus Calgar with the Gauntlets of Ultramar. They are 4 attacks, hitting on 2+, strength 4, twin linked, which is great. And actually, Marneus has a higher toughness than Abaddon. So Marneus's toughness is 6 in regards to shooting, and Abaddon's is 5. So they're both going to need 5s here from their weapons to be able to wound, but we're going to see how this does first. So here we go, looking for 2 pluses. 1 fell off, can't re-roll that because it's for the wounds. So it's strength 4 versus toughness 5. I'm going to need 5s to wound. Got 1 through. I can re-roll this because of the twin linked. And 1 more was added on. So 2 are through. It is a -1 to AP. That has Abaddon making a 3+ save. And any that are not saved is 2 damage per. So let's see what goes on here. We're looking for 3 pluses for Abaddon. Wow. All right, so he saved 1 with a 6, and then there is 1 wound that went through, so that is 2 damage. So Abaddon has been brought down from 9 wounds to 7 by Marneus Calgar and his Gauntlets of Ultramar. All right, back over to the moves. All right, so Marneus was able to do some wounds there with the strength 4 weapon, pretty good. That's brought Abaddon down from 9 wounds to 7. He's going to try to close that gap now, but he is a bit slower. So if Marneus can continue to move away and keep shooting at him, it's going to help out because Abaddon wants to get in hand-to-hand combat here really badly. So this is going to be Abaddon shooting here with the Talon of Horus. We're going to see what that can do against the toughness of Marneus Calgar. Show you guys the range on that too just before we do it so you can see. So Marneus is about 13 inches away from Abaddon, so definitely in range. And we're going to move back over to the dice camera here to see what Abaddon is going to be doing in his shoot with the Talon of Horus. Okay, so Talon of Horus coming in here. It is 24 inches. There's no rapid fire additional attacks. It's just outside of that range anyways, but it is 4 attacks hitting on 2+. So all are through. That's really good for Abaddon. It's going to be strength 5 against toughness 6. So Marneus Calgar and that like Vitrix power armor or whatever he's got going on there. So it is going to be 5s here to wound. 2 are through. And that is a -1 to AP. So Marneus is going to have to make a 3+ save as well. Any that's not saved is 2 damage. So very, very similar weapon profiles. And Marneus has saved both. So that's a really great start. Back over to the move and possible shoot right off the bat. We'll see what we have planned. So a really good shoot phase by Abaddon, but he was not able to penetrate that toughness 6 with the Talon of Horus. A bit of an older Storm Bolter on the top of that fist there. So it's not hitting as well. Just to show you guys again, I'm going to move this for a sec. So this is 18 inches right here. So I can actually move Marneus back a bit, which I'm going to do here. So he has that 6-inch move. So I'm going to move him back about 3 inches just to get that range again. He definitely has Abaddon in his range capability there with the Gauntlets of Ultramar. So it's going to go back over to the dice tray here for some more shoots from Marneus. And we'll see if he can continue to chip away at Abaddon here. All right, so this has turned into kind of a Wild West shootout here. Kind of cool terrain for it too, because it's like a desert, like futuristic western town kind of. This is again the Gauntlets of Ultramar, 4 attacks, 2+. Another one fell off. Man, I wish he was getting those because it would help great. Strength 4, toughness 5, so 5s to wound here, and I can re-roll if needed. Definitely going to be needed. So we have 1 5, and let's see if we can get a couple more. Yeah, that's much better. So we have 3 through. It is -1 to AP, so that brings Abaddon up to a 3+. So this is Abaddon's 3+ save. Wow. So he saved 1. Marneus has delivered 4 damage to Abaddon. So he is down to 3 wounds. Marneus is kicking some ass right now. So let's see if that can continue. I'm not going to lie, that's pretty crazy. So Marneus has been able to deliver 6 wounds so far to Abaddon. Abaddon is down to 3 after those shoots. Marneus still has his full 6, and it's going back to Abaddon now for his movement. But if Marneus can continue to I don't want to say run away, because it's not cowardly fighting, it's smart fighting, because he's facing an enemy that would slice him in half or shred him apart in pretty much one hand-to-hand combat move. So, you know, Abaddon's going to move up here. He's going to move his full 5 because he wants to close that gap. There we go. And we have his 3 wounds behind. So he is going to open up with the Talon of Horus. And definitely in range there. It's actually about 12 inches. So if there was a rapid fire, that would be within that capability. We're going to see if now Abaddon can start dealing some damage back. Because if not, if I can keep these rolls going, and that twin linked from the gauntlets is really helping out in regards to missed wound rolls. I was worried there because he didn't get his hit roll, Marneus, right off the start. So those extra rolls are up in the percentage greatly. But we're going to go back over to Abaddon now. We're going to see how he does with the Talon of Horus in the shooting. And hopefully we can keep Marneus, you know, hopping around this table to keep Abaddon at bay and just keep plinking wounds off of him. So here we go over to the tray for Abaddon. All right, so this is Abaddon's shoot now. He's firing with the Talon of Horus. It's really interesting to see because Marneus does have a higher toughness. Like a 6 toughness is quite a bit higher than a 5 in the game. And also both of these models really can kind of help out and buff out units that are around them, but by themselves they don't have as many abilities. But anyways, we're going to go here. So Talon of Horus, 4 attacks hitting on 2+. So all are through. That's not going to be as good for Marneus here if any of these wound. It is strength 5 versus toughness 6, so 5s to wound. And another very good roll by Abaddon, so he has 3 through there. -1 to AP, this brings Marneus up to a 3+ save. And he has taken 1 wound through, so he saved 2, 3 and 5. This one, however, has done 2 damage, and Marneus is down to 4 wounds. So just like that, Abaddon has reduced Marneus with a couple of good rolls there to reduce him from 6 wounds down to 4. It is moving back to Marneus now, though, and he's going to keep hopping around this battlefield to try to keep Abaddon at bay. So he has moved 6 inches back this way. And I'm almost positive he's in range, but I always want to check, definitely. So back over the dice tray here. Again, this Wild West shootout continues. We're going to have Marneus again firing with his Gauntlets of Ultramar to see if he can continue to pick wounds off of Abaddon the Despoiler, Warmaster of Chaos. All right, so Marneus' shoot here. Let's see if this luck continues. Gauntlets of Ultramar, 4 attacks, 2+. All are through. That's great. It is strength 4, toughness 5, 5s to wound, and I can reroll these. Pretty good. 6, 6. 2 fell off, but I can reroll. And 2 4s again. So we have 2 through from Marneus. This is moving over to Abaddon here for his save. So it is a 3+ now with the -1 to AP from the Gauntlets of Ultramar. So for all you Abaddon and Chaos fans out there, we're looking for a 3+ for him. Here we go. And he saved both this time. So there we go. It's moving back over to Abaddon here. Marneus was not able to wound. All right, so I'm not going to say Marneus' luck has run out, but it would have been really nice to have gotten at least 1 more wound off of Abaddon there. Because if Marneus does have to get into hand-to-hand here, I want the initiative. I want Abaddon down to like 1 or 2 wounds to hopefully do some damage. Because if he can counterattack, Marneus is done. It is back to Abaddon though now, or Abaddon, and he's moving 5 inches. So this gap is closing up. And there's his 3 wounds. Abaddon does not have the range right now to get hand-to-hand combat going, so he is going to shoot again with the Talon of Horus. And we'll see if that does any more damage to Marneus. Over to the dice tray. All right, so let's see if this is the TSN turning point here. Talon of Horus, 4 attacks, hitting on 2+. Oof, shitty roll, but all he needs are 2s, so 1 fell off there. Strength 5, toughness 6, 5s to wound. Nothing went through, no twin linked. So The TSN turning point has not happened, and Abaddon has not been able to hit or wound. Well, he was able to hit, but was not able to wound Marneus. So back over to Marneus here to see what happens. Okay, so both of them there in their last shoots have not been able to do any wounds, so that's good for both models. So I'm moving 6 again here, and the thing is, this angle is getting tricky because I want to keep Abaddon in my line of sight, but I also want to keep that range away from the hand-to-hand. So I'm going to move Marneus back here. 5 inches for Abaddon brings him about here, so we're still okay. So this shootout continues. Back over to the dice camera to see if Marneus can continue to, well, not continue to, can get some wounds back on Abaddon now. So over there, and we'll check it out. All right, another shoot from Marneus here, hitting on 2+. All the way through. Strength 4, toughness 5, 5s to wound. 2 through, I get to reroll with the twin linked ability. This is turning out to be huge, just giving me that extra shoots. So here we go, 5s. And we did get 1 more off of that, so that's pretty good. -1 to AP, Abaddon is making a 3+. So we saved 3, 5. This one, however, went through, and Abaddon has taken 2 more damage from the Gauntlets of Ultramar. Abaddon is down to 1 wound. Holy shit. So Marneus is really standing up this time. Abaddon has been delivered another couple of wounds. He's now down to 1 wound. It is back to his turn. He does not have the range to get into hand-to-hand combat, but he will shoot again here, and I'm going to try to cut that angle down with him this time. So if Marneus continues to jump around, Abaddon can get into hand-to-hand with him. So this is going to be very important for Marneus now. So if Marneus moves, 6 inches this way, Abaddon's got him. This is like chess now. If he moves this way, Abaddon's got him. So we're going to go to Abaddon, though. This is still his shoot. So we're going to see if the Talon of Horus is going to be able to soften up Marneus a little bit more. And then from there, we're really going to have to figure out what's going on with Marneus. But it is possible here, if Abaddon gets all of the shoots, that he might kill Marneus as well. So we have to see how this goes. And if you're cheering for Abaddon, you definitely want him to get all his hits and all his wounds in here. All right, so Abaddon in the great shootout here for the semifinals. Talon of Horus, 4 attacks, 2+. All are through. We had 2, 3, 5, 6. It is strength 5, toughness 4. Strength 5, toughness 6, so 5s to wound. Oof, and 3 have fallen off, so it's not going to be enough to kill Marneus, even if he doesn't make this save. So -1 to AP, Marneus is going to be making a save of 3+ here. If not, he's going to take 2 damage. And he's taking 2 damage. This one is getting super tight. We have Abaddon now with 1 wound, and we have Marneus Calgar with 2 wounds. So we're going to have to see what's going on here on the other camera. Really get some strategy going for both models. Well, it's tough to keep them on the table right now. So Abaddon had a pretty good shoot there. He definitely had the ability to kill Marneus, but a lot of the dice fell off. But still, the shot that he made was true. So Marneus has been brought down to 2 wounds. This is extremely important how I do this next turn here. So I may be going in with the Gauntlets of Ultramar here to take that initiative. I'll just show you guys what happens here if I don't. So forgive me, all of you Ultramarines out there or Imperium players, and maybe the Chaos players are loving me for this, but if I move Marneus here with 6 inches, he might just be out of range if he's on the table edge. If I go this way, yeah, I'm going to try it. So base right here to here. And Abaddon is just out of range. Yeah, Abaddon will come to about here with his 5-inch move. And if it's the back, yeah. So we're going to try one more time here with Marneus to get these shots through. And this may fell Abaddon the Despoiler. If not, the ground is starting to get covered pretty quickly by Abaddon, and Marneus might be in trouble. So here we go, shooting again with the Gauntlets of Ultramar over to the dice tray. Okay, so another shoot by Marneus here. It's getting really tight though. He's at the edge of the table there, and Abaddon's really closing that gap. So Gauntlets of Ultramar, 4 attacks, hitting on 2+. Okay, 1 fell off. I've been actually rolling really well with Marneus and not so well with Abaddon. So this is strength 4, toughness 5, 5 to wound. 2 are through. I can re-roll that 4 though, so that last one was a 4. And we need a 5 here, so the twin linked ability allows me to do that. And it's 6. So that is 3 attacks through. This might be it. We'll have to see. -1 to AP to Abaddon. He's got to make 3 pluses here. And he did. So those Chaos Gods are really backing Abaddon. He has made all of his saves. If he had not made a save there, he would be dead. It's moving back over to him now, and we will see what he decides to do. Holy crap. So there we go. One heck of a shoot there by Marneus. He got all of his wounds through, but Abaddon was able to save them with the Invulnerable, so those Chaos Gods are definitely helping him out. Abaddon is still going to close down that range, and I'm going to move, because he can no longer move off the table this way, so he can only go this way, so I'm going to try to cut that angle down with Abaddon and move him right here. He's hoping for that hand-to-hand combat. So it's going to be back over Talon of Horus for Abaddon's next shoot. This has been an insane shoot-'em-up game so far. So we'll see how this one ends, and we're over the dice tray again for Abaddon. All right, so this is like a machine gun battle. Just shoot, 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 shoot. And both of them are up to the challenge, it seems, because it's super, super close. If Marneus was taking on a lesser model, they'd be dead by now, but this is Abaddon the Despoiler, so he is putting everything he has into it, and then Abaddon, I think, started off a little cocky, and now he's like, oh shit, Marneus is actually pretty good. So here we go. This is Abaddon, Talons of Horus. Definitely has the capability of killing Marneus here. 4 attacks, 2+. All are through. Not good for Marneus, very good for Abaddon. Strength 5, toughness 6, 5s to wound. And, oh, close, but no reroll there. So this is what's really getting Abaddon. So these are super close. He needed a 5. He can't reroll. It's not twin linked. So this is going to be a -1 to AP, bringing Marneus up to a 3+ save. If he doesn't make this, he is dead. So Marneus needs a 3 here. Got a 4. Woof. It is crazy. So it's going back over to Marneus here. I'm going to do the math there on the other camera just with the range to see what Marneus has left. And we'll see. This might be going to hand-to-hand combat where Marneus will get the initiative. Well, I'm not going to lie, guys. That was that 4 rolling off there for Marneus was tricky. So this is all I have left. So I'm not going to say that he's cornered, but he has 2 inches back here, which it's Abaddon would have him in base-to-base contact. So if he moves this way, he's going to get himself cornered. So this, I think, is going to come down to hand-to-hand combat unless Marneus can kill him here. So I'm going to do one more movement here with the 2. I'm going to fire again with the Gauntlets of Ultramar. You can tell Abaddon wants a hand-to-hand combat scrap, but Marneus is not going to give him that. And these are, you know, again, I'm not saying that this is playing a game of cowardice. It's making sure that Marneus has the best moves he can. Just move the camera over for you guys that are in range. So yeah, we're going to get Marneus going here again. Gauntlets of Ultramar versus Abaddon. And next turn, if I don't do enough damage here, that would be back into Abaddon's range anywhere here. The only spot might be in this corner. But if Abaddon moves 5... we're going to have to see what happens because it's getting super close and there's not much space left for Marneus. So Marneus really has to do some damage here. Well, kill him. There's only 1 room left on Abaddon. So over the dice tray, let's see how Marneus does with those Gauntlets of Ultramar. They've been doing so well for him so far, and this is it. It might be the last turn, might not be. We'll see. All right, so here we are again. Marneus is still alive, moving around. He was able to make that save. It would have killed him last turn. So Gauntlets of Ultramar, 4 attacks, 2+. Amazing. 3, 4, 6, 6. All have fired. Strength 4, toughness 5, 5s to wound. So not as great a roll there. They are twin linked though, so let's see if I can pick up at least 1 more attack here. And I did. So it would be nice if I had all 4. Definitely up those odds. But 2 have wounded. -1 to AP. Abaddon has to make a 3+ save here. He's made both again. So a 5 and a 6. Abaddon continues to fight. Whoa. What are you guys feeling? That's pretty crazy. So Abaddon survived that one. He's going to be moving in here, actually. I'm going to cut that angle down again on Marneus. So he's right here. Abaddon's next move would be in hand-to-hand in any of these directions. So this is pretty much it. Marneus has to get into hand-to-hand combat next phase. Abaddon has pinned him, but this is also Abaddon's shoot, so it's possible he might kill Marneus here or might soften him up again. So they're going to be getting into hand-to-hand combat with 1 wound each. This is a fantastic fight, and I had a feeling that it would be. So here we go over the dice tray for Abaddon's Talon of Horus shoot. All right, so this battle is going to be done probably in the next 1 or 2 turns. It might be done here. So Talon of Horus, 4 attacks hitting on 2+. 1 fell off. So 2, 3, 6. Strength 5, toughness 6, 5 to wound. Wow. 4, 4, 1. There has been no wound delivered. I really have to think about how I'm going to handle Marneus here now and see what I can do. All right, so Marneus survives more. I should say Abaddon did not fire, and I completely forgot that this building's here too. So this is a capability of Marneus. He can climb up here, try to stay out of the range of Abaddon. It's just, I still think that any way he goes, it's going to be hand-to-hand combat. So if I move out this way, 5 inches, that, yeah, it's super close everywhere. So even if I move him, like if I move him up here, his 6 inches would bring him right up to about here. Abaddon's going to be able to get up there. If I move him out this way to this point, Abaddon's got him. If I move him out this way, that, yeah, with base to base, they would still be in contact. So Abaddon has cornered Marneus. It is Marneus' turn, and I'm going to be taking the initiative here to go in. This is pretty much a death sentence if Marneus is not able to kill Abaddon here. So we are going to see Marneus. Good luck, buddy. If you're cheering for Abaddon, good luck. See if you can survive this round over the dice camera for the first hand-to-hand combat of the battle and what is probably going to be the last. Okay, so we're over the dice camera for Marneus Calgar's initiative here. If Abaddon had any more than, I would say, 2 or 3 wounds, I wouldn't be trying this, but he's down to 1. So Marneus Calgar has the Gauntlets of Ultramar, 6 attacks, strength 8, and they are twin linked, so I can reroll wound rolls, -3 to AP, which will bring Abaddon to his invulnerable save, and also 3 damage per that goes through. So I hope I don't get a bunch of snake eyes here. Let's see, it's 2+, 6 attacks. Oh, it's spinning. Wow. Okay, all are through. Strength 8 versus toughness 5. This is going to be 3s to wound, and I can reroll. Very good that I can reroll because 50% fell off, so I have 3, 6, 6 that are through. And this has to be 3s to add any additional attacks here. Added 3 more. So I have 6 in total, -3 to AP. That brings Abaddon up to his 4+ invulnerable. And if the Chaos Gods are looking out for Abaddon here, he's going to make all of his 4s. If the Emperor is on the shoulder of Marneus, he's going to fail one of these and be killed. So here we go, looking for 4+s for Abaddon. Holy shit, that was close. Wow. So Marneus Calgar has defeated Abaddon the Despoiler. So this was saved, 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 saved. 3 6s, 2 4s. I thought this was going to roll and be a 4. You guys saw it spinning there. So that is the 3 that has not saved. Abaddon needed an invulnerable of 4+. He has taken 3 damage to his 1 wound. So Marneus Calgar is moving on to the finals. Incredible. So just wanted to keep that shot there for a sec. This was the showdown here. Marneus was pretty much on the ropes, backed into a corner. He had to get into hand-to-hand combat. Very good odds, considering that he has that twin-linked Gauntlet of Ultramar with a strength 8. So Abaddon was defeated. He had 1 wound remaining, and Marneus Calgar was able to deliver 3 damage to that. Abaddon almost saved everything, which was also insane. So we do have Marneus Calgar moving on to the finals, which is insane. There he is. So I'm just going to pop him back up on the tower, and we'll get back to this in just a sec. So our victor, once again, Marneus Calgar. You guys saw him in Space Marine 2, taking on greater demons of Tzeentch and things like this. I was really, I was thinking Abaddon was going to take this one for sure, but I was able to, with this board, the table setup, have Marneus really be able to avoid that hand-to-hand combat from Abaddon. His speed also helped him. So if they had both had 5-inch movement, I think it would have been Abaddon's for sure, but Marneus has that 6. He also has a higher toughness, so that was really able to help against a 10,000-plus-year-old Storm Bolter that's on the top of the Talon of Horus. So he kept Abaddon at bay, kept chipping away at him, got some really good rolls, which is also luck, so that doesn't, always necessarily happen. And he was able to dwindle him down. Saw Abaddon down with that 1 wound, bleeding and leaking, so he decided to jump into it, and he smashed him apart with those Gauntlets of Ultramar. He is moving on to the finals. The next fight here is going to be Karn the Betrayer versus Supreme Grandmaster Azrael of the Dark Angels. If this turns out being a Dark Angels versus Ultramarine final, it just means that, they're having some fun with each other, or maybe one's turned traitor. No, I'm kidding. They're just, at a training bout there, I would say, if those two fight. If Karn makes it, however, Marneus is going to have to send another of the Traitor Marines back to the warp. So fantastic battle. Marneus Calgar has defeated Abaddon the Despoiler, and we'll be back in just a sec with the other semifinal fight of Azrael versus Karn. Thank you guys. Fight 'em Up series by Finnigan 40K.